Hi everyone, this is one of the most requested videos in our AI community and YouTube comments, and rightly so. This is a complete voice AI appointment booking system with checking availability, booking the appointment, cancellations, rescheduling, and of course, auto reminders. And the best part is this is applicable to any business. Also, the whole automation uses only Google Calendar and ChatGPT. That's it, nothing else. No cal.com API, no Calendly API, no other third-party applications. In less than 2 hours, you'll be up and running with a full voice AI appointment booking system. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump in and let me show you exactly what we'll build today. Okay, first things first, what I want to do is I want to do a demo. Okay, and in the demo, I'm going to ask the AI receptionist some questions and expect that it'll answer. And the next is that it'll book an appointment. After booking an appointment, then we will actually go and cancel it and then reschedule it as well. Okay, so we'll make 2 appointments. Okay, so let me start the assistant and let's take it from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start this.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI, chatbots, and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I had a quick question actually. So I run a restaurant and I get a lot of calls, especially for appointment booking, cancellation, rescheduling. That takes a lot of time from my staff. So I was looking to get a voice AI solution for that. Is that something you guys can help me with?
Absolutely. We can set up a voice AI agent tailored for your restaurant. It can handle bookings, cancellations, and rescheduling calls automatically, freeing up your staff to focus on other tasks. Plus, it can work 24/7, so no missed calls. Want to explore this further with a free discovery call?
Yeah, sure. Another question I had was what kind of services do you guys provide? So I understand voice AI is one of them, but what else is there?
Great question. Besides voice AI, we also offer smart chatbots to handle online customer interactions and tailored AI automation setups to streamline various business processes. Basically, we help businesses work smarter, not harder. Ready to dive into a discovery call to see how we can help your restaurant.
Yes, and one more question I had was that is there any way you can give me a ballpark figure as to how much it's going to cost me?
I understand you'd like a ballpark figure for the cost. Unfortunately, I can't give you a precise number without understanding your specific needs. The price depends on several factors, like the complexity of your restaurant's needs, the number of features you want, and the level of integration with your existing systems. The best way to get an accurate estimate is to schedule that free 30-minute discovery call. During the call, our team can ask you some clarifying questions and give you a personalized quote. What date and time works best for you?
Okay, so how about doing it tomorrow at 11 a.m.? Is that available?
This will just take a sec. Looks like we're booked at 11 a.m. tomorrow. How about 12 p.m. instead? Or I can suggest some other nearby slots that are free.
Do you have 1 p.m. available?
This will just take a sec. Oops, 1 p.m. is also booked. How about 2 p.m.? Or any other time that works for you?
Okay, so let's do 12 p.m. I think 12 p.m. works.
Great, let's get you booked for 12 p.m. tomorrow. I'll just need a few details. What's your first name?
So my first name is Sandeep. It's Sandeep. My email is hello@flipbytes.co, and that is HELLO at FLIPBYTES.co. And my phone number is
Got it.
My phone number is 1234 5678. Could you confirm all this?
Sure thing, just to double check. Your name is Sandeep. Your email is HELLO8FLIPBYTES.co. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct.
This will just take a sec. All set, Sandeep. Your discovery call is booked for tomorrow at 12 p.m. If you need to reschedule or cancel, just give us a shout. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, bye-bye. All right, so as you saw, that was booked, and hopefully we should get an email pretty soon as well from FlipBytes. Let's see if that is, yep, that is happening. There you go. That's the email which confirms this thing. Okay. All right. So now we already have one appointment in the system. What we need is, let's put another one. So then after that, what we can do is we can cancel one and then we can reschedule one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and talk to the AI agent again. So for this, I'm just gonna restart it again and then ask it to book another appointment. So let's do that.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI, chatbots, and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
Hi, could you book me a call for tomorrow at 2 p.m.?
Just a sec. Great news. We have a slot available for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's get you booked. Could you please provide me with your first name, phone number, and email address?
Sure. My first name is Sandeep. It's Sandeep. And my email is hello@flipbytes, flipbytes.co. And my phone number is 12345678.
Got it. Just to confirm, your name is Sandeep, spelled Sandeep. Your email is hello@flipbytes.co. Your phone number is 12345678. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Hold on a sec. All set. Your discovery call is booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you need to make any changes, just let me know. Have a great day, Sandeep.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, so we have booked 2 calls, right? And they're exactly the same. Now, in most of the situations, this will not arise, but this is possible, especially when you have a spa or you have a yoga class or something, you have repetitive classes. So those are the places where you have multiple appointments. But most of the cases, you will generally have one appointment, or even if you have one appointment in 1 week, and second can be. But this is the situation. I mean, if it can handle this situation, can handle most of them. Okay, so now we have 2 appointments. What we're going to do is we'll cancel one of them, and the other we will actually reschedule. And for this one also, I should have gotten an email, so I'm just going to go ahead and check that, and there you go. Okay, that's it right here. Perfect. Okay, so all right, so let's do one thing. Let's go back to the agent and then let's see what happens. Of course. So this is the whole process flow in Make, and we will go through this, the whole thing, okay, one by one. So don't worry about this right now. I'm just going to give you, I'm just giving you a demo so that you understand exactly what we'll be building. And then after that, we will come back and we will do, I'll go through step by step, the whole process. Okay, so let's start the agent and then let's see what he says.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI, chatbots, and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I'd like to cancel my appointment.
Sure, I can help with that. What's the phone number you used to book the appointment?
Yeah, so my phone number is 12345678.
Give me a moment. We found multiple appointments in our system. One, July 3rd, 2025, from 12 to 12:30. 2, July 3rd, 2025, from 14 to 14:30. Which one would you like to cancel?
Okay, so I'd like to cancel the first one, which is from 12 to 12:30.
Hold on a sec. All done. Your appointment for July 3rd, 2025, from 12 to 12:30 has been canceled. Anything else I can help you with?
Yes, that's great. Also, can you schedule this one, the one from 2 to 2:30 to 4 to 4:30? Is that possible for the same day?
Give me a moment. Good news. We have a slot available on July 3rd from 4 to 4:30 p.m. Let me reschedule your appointment. Hang tight. This will just take a sec. Your appointment has been rescheduled to July 3rd from 4 to 4:30 p.m. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that'll be all. Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. So you saw that we made the appointments, we canceled the appointment, and we rescheduled the appointment as well. Okay, so now let's go through the whole system as to how this works. All right, so now let's go to Vapi. So the first thing is that, if just want to give you an overview of Vapi, and what I'll do is I'm going to actually show you how to create an assistant, and then I will take you through this step by step. So we will do everything step by step, okay? And how I created this. Then we'll come to the make automation as to why, how we did this. Let me just actually go there. This is the one. Okay. All right. So let's go through this thing. All right. So the first thing is that once you actually log in, you will come to this, section. This is Vapi. This is the voice AI agent where you build your voice AI agent. So this is the platform, and you have something called overview and metrics. So I'm just going to go through this real quick. These are just, like how many calls have you done, just to give you an overview. So total call minutes you've done in a month, number of calls, and so on and so forth. So it just shows you everything, representing it graphs. So it looks pretty nice actually. Okay, but this is the main section. So let's go to the assistant. Okay, to create an assistant, you will go to create an assistant button. Just click on that, and then you can put in your assistant name, and then you can use a blank template. Vapi also provides you with these basic ones, all right? So these are customer service or lead qualification. The only difference is that if I use this, it is going to have, the only thing is that it is going to have a prompt, okay? And the prompt will be more towards the customer service specialist or a lead qualification specialist and so on and so forth, okay? So that's all it is, nothing else. But in our case, what we'll do is we'll use a blank template. And so when you create an assistant, it's pretty straightforward. Just use this new assistant, blank, and then say create an assistant. That's it. Okay, and it'll create it like this. So anyways, I've created the assistant, Flipbytes, and I'm going to take you through what are the settings. And if you want to see how to go about creating an assistant and everything in details, what you can do is you can actually go to my YouTube channel, which is Sandeep Kayastha. So let me just take you there. It's right here. And if you go here and click on videos, and you can see right here, beginner's voice AI tutorial. Okay, so this is the one. If you want to see this in this, I actually create an assistant from scratch, and it also has an appointment builder, but of course it doesn't have cancellation and the rest of the logic. It just has how to build check availability as well as just booking appointments, nothing else. Okay, so this is a beginner's voice AI tutorial. So this actually covers everything, but so I'm not going to go through this whole thing again, but if you want to go, you can see this one. All right, so let me just go back on this, and let me just close this. All right, so now when you have this, and what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to delete this. But that's how you create an assistant actually. Okay, so once you create an assistant, the first thing is that you'll see something called cost here and latency. All right, so essentially what is latency? Now latency is the lag. Okay, so the lag is that when you're talking to someone, like when you must have experienced that when you talk to somebody and on the phone, and there is a lag sometimes, and most of the times it's not nowadays, but earlier times it used to be basically that, okay, you will say something and then the person does not hear you properly and they responds back after some time. Now that is a lag, and that is the latency. Now the problem is that if the latency is too much, you will see a lag which is substantial, okay, and it is very difficult to have a conversation then. So basically the whole idea is that try to reduce this latency as much as possible. And so in Vapi, you have these, these markers which tell you that, okay, how you can reduce the latency. So in this case, the yellow is really, really big. It's very pronounced. So what is that? This is basically your GPT-4o. So this is the LLM which is being used. Okay, so this is the Vapi voice AI. All right, so let me take a step back. In your voice AI system, there are 4 parts. The first part is the prompt. The prompt is nothing but instructions, okay? Instructions to the voice AI saying that, okay, do this, then do this now, then do this, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to show you what a prompt looks like. We have the whole prompt out here, okay? And I'm going to take you through that. But that is essentially what a prompt is. So that is the first part. The next is that when you're talking to voice AI, so when I said, hello, I would like this to happen, the voice AI converts my voice into text. Okay, so that is voice to text, and that is done by something called a transcriber. Okay, and that is done by some provider. It can be a DeepGram, it can be Lemon Labs. There are lots of them. Anyways, I'll come to this, but you need to understand that. So there are 4 portions. Okay, the first is of course the model and the prompt. The prompt is there. The next is the transcriber, which actually transcribes. It transcribes your voice into text. Now that text is fed to the LLM, which is your ChatGPT or GPT-4, whatever you want to use basically. Okay, it can be a Claude or it can be a Grok, whatever you use. So there are a lot of options out here in providers. If you can see, you have all of these. You have DeepSeek, you have Google, Anthropic, Azure, so on and so forth. So whatever you prefer, you can do that. Okay. So that's the third part. So the first is the prompt, the second is the transcriber, the third is the provider, right? So not provider, sorry, the LLM, and the fourth is that when the LLM generates the response, now it needs to be converted back from text to speech so you can hear it, and that is done by what do you call voice. Okay, and then again you have different providers for that. You can use Vapi, you can use Cartesia, you have 11 labs, and then you can select different voices for that. Okay, so these are the four pillars of any voice AI system. Okay, the first prompt, the second transcriber, the third is the LLM which converts and generates the response, and the fourth is back to the speech. All right, now we have that. So let's go to model. Okay, so in Vapi you have again, as I said, so this is basically the LLM. The GPT-4, the yellow line is the LLM. Now, if I were to change this to something else, now what I'm using is, everybody knows GPT-4o cluster, but if I were to use something called a mini or something, this would probably be faster. So it's written out here, GPT 4.1 mini is 770 milliseconds, 4o is 390 milliseconds, mini cluster. Okay, so if I were to do this, this will reduce. Let me just publish this real quick. I'll show you that. Yeah, there you go. So it becomes 840 milliseconds. So because this is fast, but then again, fast doesn't necessarily mean that the answer or the response which it generates is good. So again, it's a balance which you need to do. So I'm going to switch back to, I like 4.0 cluster, which actually works. It is a little slow, but still not much different actually. But then again, it depends on your use case, and you can play around with this and see which one works better for you. Okay, so you have a provider, and the provider basically can be OpenAI, or as I said, Grok or something. The next is the assistant speaks first. So yes, so in this case, this is an assistant. This is an incoming assistant. So what we are creating is a FlipBytes AI agency. So FlipBytes AI agency voice AI system, right? So when people call, I want them to respond. So what happens in this case is the assistant speaks first, right? So when someone calls this number, the assistant should activate and say that, hey, how can I help you? Which it exactly did. So that's where the setting comes in. Then after that is the first message. So this is the message you want the assistant to immediately speak the moment it comes. So hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We have a business streamline. So this is the whole message. Let me just open that, and I'm going to actually take you through the prompt as well. Okay. I have my notepad right here. Let me just get it out here, and let me just show it like this so it's easier. And then I'm going to copy the prompt as well. So I'm going to take you through the prompt. It is quite an extensive prompt. So anyways, what I'll do is I'm going to take you through this so you understand. Okay, so it's much easier to see it out here rather than that small box. So that's the reason I copied it out here. Okay, so this is the first message. Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI. So whatever you want, word by word, okay, you want the AI to speak, this is where the first message goes in. So the AI is going to start with this thing, and after that it will continue the conversation. Now this is the prompt, okay? This is the prompt. So this is essentially the instructions to the AI. So you can see that voice agent prompt for FlipBytes AI assistant. And then you give a little bit about, you talk about a little bit about the business, like what exactly is the business. So if you're running a restaurant, you talk about, okay, I have an Italian restaurant or I have an Indian restaurant. This is exactly what we do. This is how is our inspiration, whatever you want the AI to know, and rather your customers to know, because they will ask the AI, and the AI is going to be trained on these things. So that is the thing, okay? So the business, it needs to have a little bit of business background. After that comes the task. So then you can say that you are a conversational voice AI agent for FlipBytes AI's automation agency. You are friendly, witty, and helpful assistant that answers all customer queries, help potential clients book, cancel, or reschedule for a 30-minute discovery call, collect and confirm user details, maintain a casual, approachable, and use simple and concise English, and so on and so forth. So basically write in proper and simple English so that it can understand what it's supposed to do. But you need to write all of these things down, okay? So if you want it to be witty and funny, you need to write that. Basically, if you want it to be very, very professional, having a professional tone, you need to mention that as well. Okay. So then after that is the behavior instructions. What are there? This is the initial greeting. Again, you can put this if you want. You don't have to put this. It just depends. Like, for example, sometimes it just defaults to this. But you can totally get rid of this because anyways, we have the first message. Okay, the next one is handling question about services. All right. And you will see some hashes in front. Okay, so this is like, basically this is nothing but a markdown format. And now a markdown format is like, you have a Word document, right? So you have those H1, H2, H3 and all those things. So what it does is it just kind of makes the document very easy to read, and it bifurcates it properly. That's exactly what a markdown is. And markdown format is something which was, it was basically downgraded at OpenAI. And what it does is it just tells the LLM, which is your engine, the main heart, that, hey, use this structure so that it is easy to understand. Okay, so that is the reason you put in hashes. So basically, if you go up, you'll see that, okay, behavior is, when it starts off with tasks, business is 3, voice AI agent, this is number 1, number 2, so this is subheading. This is the main, this is the H1, this is the H2, so and so forth. So this is H3 after that. So that's it. Okay, so handling questions about services. So then the way I write a prompt is that you can say use the FlipBytes knowledge base to answer any service related questions. And this is the example. So we can say, so we offer 3 main things, voice AI. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to tell the AI agent that this is what you need to do. And this is the example of how you need to respond. Okay. So that is the reason examples are very, very beneficial if you want the AI agent to behave in a certain way and it respond in a certain way. Okay. So make sure that, okay, you put examples so that, it's the AI agent knows exactly what to do. The offering the discovery call. So now after answering the questions, as you saw in the demo, that after answering the questions, the AI would prompt me that, hey, do you want to book a discovery call? So that is where it comes in. So once you've answered the caller's questions, prompt, want to explore how the AI magic can help you. And so that's exactly what it did. It actually started prompting you that once it answers the question, it says, would you like to book a call? And that is what it's mentioned out here in the instructions, right? Okay, this is where the call comes in. So booking a discovery call. Now the fourth thing is that, okay, once the user says, yes, you've answered all my questions, I would like to book a discovery call. So what it's supposed to do? Step A, get a preferred time. So now this is, again, we are just using that. I'm in Singapore. So this particular, statement just gets the date. So now what it means is that what is the time right now and the date and this nomenclature. And after that, it says Asia, Singapore. Okay. So you can use this for your own, whatever geography you are. In case you're in New York, you can say America's New York. If you're in India, you can say India, Kolkata, so and so forth. Okay. So essentially what it does is that when you're talking to the AI assistant, you don't have to specify the date. Now, as you saw, I just said that, okay, can you book, I'd like to come in tomorrow. Now, how does the AI agent know what is tomorrow? So it needs to know your time. And for that, it needs to know your geolocation. Where exactly are you located? So if you're in Singapore, then it can take, and now basically means that's the current time and in Asia, Singapore. So now it knows, okay, in Singapore at this point of time, it's 11 o'clock in the night. Okay. So when I say tomorrow, that basically means the next day and the person wants to come at this particular time. So that's what this does. All right. Moving forward, we have step B. So once you say that I want to book a discovery call, the first step for the AI agent is to check availability for that time, right? So that's what it did. So once we're looking at this point, it went here and I said that, okay, I'm looking at 11 a.m. and it went and did a check availability and I was like, okay, fine. You know what? 11 a.m. is not available. Then I told him book a 1 to 2 p.m. And then again, it went, did a check availability and came here and said, okay, 1 to 2 p.m. is also not booked. And then it gave me options. And how did it give me options? So I've specified in the instructions that our office is operational from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it has this thing, okay. Anything out of that, it will not book. So 9 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. I think I don't exactly know what I mentioned, but that I think it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. something, okay. So if you give that band, so then the AI knows that, okay, I can give him 9 a.m., I can give him 10 a.m. So that is the reason it said that, okay, if you, this is busy, but you can take anything from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 12 p.m. and then after 2 p.m. as well as available. Okay. So that's where it's coming from. So the first thing is that you'll say check availability. And then there's a tool. We'll come to tools, what exactly this is. But for now, just remember that, okay, tools is nothing but a function. A tool connects Vapi to the outside world. All right. So by outside world, what I mean is that you are talking about Google Calendar. You're booking a system in Google Calendar, correct? Google Calendar is not linked to Vapi. These are two different companies. These are two different applications. So how do they talk to each other? So they talk to each other via something called Make. All right. So this is the automation platform which we'll be going through. So, but the thing with Make is that also how Make is also a separate company. So how does Make talk to Vapi? And that is where the tool comes in. Okay, a Vapi tools talks to Make, and it has something called tools. And let me just not confuse you. We'll go through this, what exactly tools are and how to use them. But for now, just remember that, okay, tools are the connecting blocks. That is how Vapi is able to talk to Make, which in turn talks to Google Calendar. So that whole thing is established. All right. So in step B, it says check availability, and then it says, okay, now to check the availability, call this tool and go and check for the availability, whether it's available or not for the caller's preferred time. Okay, so it did that. Okay, I'm going to do it for 11 o'clock. And then it came back and said, hey, 11 o'clock is not available. And then I told him, okay, fine, you know what, do check for 1 o'clock. Then again, it went to the tool, it went to this place, and with the caller's preferred time, which is 1 o'clock, and then said that it is also not available. And then I said, okay, book for, I think I said 12 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 o'clock, something I said, right? So let's say if I called 12 o'clock. Now it went to the calendar and it said that 12 o'clock is available. It did a check availability for the third time and it says, yes, it is available. And it came back saying that it is available. Now, step C is, if that time is available, then ask for the first name, phone number, and email address. That's what it did. Confirm back each details like, and this is exactly what it did. It broke the name down. And the reason I do this is in the prompt is because sometimes, you know, the names can be complicated, and especially with accents, right? So that becomes a little bit of an issue. Not that you won't have an issue with this basically, but the chances of error really reduces when it is actually breaking down the name letter by letter. So when it says Alex, it's saying Alex. In my case, it was saying Sandeep, so which is Sandeep, right? So it just, so, and especially this is useful for email addresses when it breaks it down, like alex@gmail.com, like this. So that is the reason I mentioned it right now, okay? And after that, you call the tool. So this is a second tool, which is called Flip Book Appointments. And what this is supposed to do is, it'll take all of these three things and send it to the tool and book it. Wow. Okay. All right. So this is, these are the instructions, right? Right here. Now, after that is the third case, wherein if the caller's desired time is not available and you saw that was not available, it generally says, looks like we booked around that time. And that's exactly actually what it said. So you can change this to whatever you want, and or, you know, you can give it a little bit of a wiggle room as well to the AI assistant. But essentially what it'll do is it'll in so many words, it'll say that, okay, the time is not available. Okay. And if the user asks for suggestion, offer slots within 2 to 3 hours of the requested time. So that is what it did, right? So it told me that, okay, this is not available, but this time slot is available, this time slot is available, and so on and so forth. Okay. And also I've mentioned that, okay, let's say, for example, if all the slots available and nothing is available for that particular day, then you can offer the next day options as well. But we never got to that. Okay. Now, this is for check availability and booking appointments. Now, the next thing comes is rescheduling and canceling. Now, if you want to cancel an appointment, then you need to know the number. Because every appointment in the system is based on the phone number of the user. And that's the unique key, right? So when a person says that, okay, this is my phone number, then the AI is going to check how many appointments does it have. So that is the reason it says, if the user says, I want to reschedule or I want to cancel an appointment, then ask for the phone number and then say, okay, I'm going to check. So what it's going to do is it is going to check for existing appointments, and then there is another tool called Flip Check All Appointments, which basically does nothing but it takes the phone number and returns if there is it returns whether there is an appointment, whether there is one appointment, or whether there is multiple appointments. So in our case, there were multiple appointments, right? And based on the response, it can say these things. So essentially, that is what a prompt is. So whatever you can think of, the conditions, all of those things, that is what you need to mention this step by step. Okay, and we found multiple appointments in the system. Here's the list. So this is exactly what our condition was. which one would you like to cancel or reschedule? And we said that, okay, I want to use this, this particular 9 o'clock, sorry, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I want to cancel, so that the system knows, okay, this is 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock with this phone number. So those two things become a unique ID, and then it goes down and cancels it. All right. If the user chooses to cancel, call the tool flip cancel appointment. And if the user chooses to reschedule, then call this particular flip reschedule appointment. So essentially that's it. So these are the instructions basically which we are giving to the AI to do this. All right. So this is your full prompt. It's a pretty big one. Okay. And yeah, so I'm just going to cancel this right now. All right, perfect. So let's go back. So that is what we have right here. Okay. So let me come back to the same system. So you do the first message. After that, you do the prompt, right? So you write the whole thing. After that, the next thing is the KB. What is the files? Now this is called the knowledge base. Now knowledge base is like you have, so let me just show you the knowledge base as well.
Just a quick note, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and share. It really helps the channel, and if you are into automation content like this, hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on future tutorials. If you're new to automation, I highly recommend joining our AI Accelerator. You'll learn about building cutting-edge AI systems for your business or clients, plus connect with like-minded people to boost your motivation and success. All the links are in the description. Also, if you'd like me to expand on this automation, pause this video now and drop a comment below. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Is the knowledge base, all right? And this is what I've created basically, which says that it has got the introduction, it's about the company, something like prompt, but this is much more than the prompt. Now, a knowledge base in a case of an agency is, of course, it's not that big because we have, like, in this case, I write the introduction of the company, about FlipBytes, about the company, how, the inception, whatever you want to mention, you can mention that. So what are our core competencies, what kind of case studies we have done, what services we offer. So all of those things are in detail. So basically, this is very important because this is what the AI is going to be trained on, all right? Now, in this case, of course, we have what all technologies you work on. So if the user says that, okay, do you use make.com in your automation platform, or do you use Zapier, or you use N8N? What kind of voice AI system do you use? Do you use VoiceFlow, or you use, what kind of Graffiti is a graph database, which we use. Neo4j is like that as well. N8N is an automation platform, so on and so forth, right? So you are mentioning everything out here, what the AI should be trained on, because people can ask any question, and so they should be answered in the right manner. So your knowledge base can be totally different. So let's say if you're running a restaurant, so you can talk about your restaurant's opening hours, closing hours, address, what kind of menu you have, how do you prepare a menu. If you want to talk about some dishes which are like very, very popular, and you want to give the recipe, or maybe you can say about how many awards you've gotten, or why is this recipe so amazing, or who visited, if there is a celebrity who came in. So all of those things for that particular dish. So all of these things you can mention in knowledge base so that the AI is trained, okay, and on that. And then once somebody calls, it can actually use all of those references and then generate a response for that. So it is much more, the response is much more rich rather than just having a prompt. Prompt are instructions. Knowledge base is whatever your business is, everything about that business, okay? Now, in some cases, okay, so where do we put this? Okay, so when I have a knowledge base like this, I'm going to take a PDF, and generally what we go is, you go to Vapi, you have files. Within files, you'll upload the knowledge base right here, okay? Okay, now something which is very, very important to understand is that in case of a restaurant, okay, a standalone restaurant, or maybe you have a chain of restaurants, so you have some, one knowledge base or one PDF for each one of them. But in some cases, let's say a case of a lawyer, a law firm, right? They can have a very big knowledge base because it's case by case. There can be thousands of cases. So this knowledge base can be small and it can be extremely large as well. So I just want to let you know that. So generally, whenever you upload all the files, and then when you do is when you select the assistant, you will select the knowledge base as well with that. And I'll come to that. So when we go down, we'll come to that, okay? So just wanted to, okay, sorry. So out here, right here. So when you click on this thing, right now it's just referencing only FlipBytes agency knowledge base PDF. That's it, nothing else, right? But if you want it, let's say there were
10 files, which, or let's say this is a restaurant, there are 10 restaurants. So you will select all 10 of them. So what it's going to do is that AI agent is going to reference all of them. And then when the person talks about any of those restaurants, it'll be in a position to give the right answer. So that's all it knowledge is. Okay. All right. So after that, you have max tokens. Now, max tokens are, it defines how big the answer you want. So especially when you're talking about voice AI, generally the range should be about 250 to 300. And the reason is that you don't want the AI to start blabbering. If you put it as 800, that's a lot of tokens. So the response generated by the AI is going to be quite large. It'll be quite long. And then after that, it's just blabbering. So what you want is that your answers, especially for voice AI, should be short and crisp. And then your max tokens should be between 250 to 300. All right. All right. Now is the temperature. So temperature is basically a meter for creativity, or it just generally is called hallucinations, right? So if you actually have, if you increase the temperature, like right now it's 0.3, but if you increase it to 1 or 2 or something like that, that basically means that it becomes extremely creative, for a lack of a better word, or it starts hallucinating. So what hallucination means is basically that, okay, it will not reference only your knowledge base, it will use its own data as well, and then it can come up with very creative answers. So where do you use them? It is used in a lot of creative places. But let's say, for example, you have an application, or you're creating a voice AI which tells jokes automatically, right? Now, obviously, you don't have a knowledge base for that. You want jokes and everything. You want the person to be creative. You want the AI agent to be creative. That is where you actually push it to even 2, 1, 1.5, 2, whatever it is. All right. But if you want the knowledge base to refer to the document, okay, with a little bit of a wiggle room, so it can use some phrases, some words, which can sound, much better, then for that, you actually put it to about 3, okay, 0.3, sorry, not 3, 0.3. It has a little bit of a wiggle room of creativity, and it will actually reference everything from the knowledge base. If you make it 0, it is totally going to the knowledge base, nothing else. So that is it. So it's a fine line. I generally like to put it at 0.3. I think that's a very, very good balance. But then again, of course, it depends on you, what you want to do. All right, after this is the voice configuration. Okay, so I told you, this is voice configuration. So I told you about 4 parts, right, of every voice AI system. Prompt, which we have already covered. Then you have transcriber, you have LLM, and you have a voice, text to voice, right? So the LLM basically is this is the prompt, right? And this is the, whatever we're using is the model. Now, voice AI is the voice which converts the text back to the voice, right? So which one do you want to use? So you have a Vapi voice, you have a lot of options out here. So what I'm using is Elliot. So when I start the assistant, the person who's talking is Elliot, right? I can change this to something else as well. So let's say if I want a different voice, let's say 11 Labs, and I'm going to go to Sarah, all right? So I have to publish this, and then I can start this, and now there'll be a female voice.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI, chatbots, and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
Okay. So that is the difference basically. So you can actually choose a voice that best suits your use case. So if you are running a spa, you want a person who is a little bubbly or maybe a little calm voice, so you can actually do that. And generally most of these voices, they come with what kind of it's a male, British accent or Australian accent, Indian accent, and so on and so forth. Okay. So you can select that, and then you can select the model. So basically it's a provider thing, what provider you want. So in my case, I'm using Vapi. Elliot works for me. But then of course, if you want to go with Chloe, it says that, okay, 22-year-old white male, Cole, sorry, not Chloe, Cole. Harry is a 24-year-old white male. Then you have Spencer, who's a female. You have Neha, who's an Indian female. So let's say, for example, if I were to select this, and I just want to give you an example of this. Oh, 1 second. Let me just publish this. I think it worked.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI chatbots and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
So that is the difference, okay? So the accents, whatever your use case is. So if you're developing for Indian market and you want the accent should be Indian inspired, so you can use this. If you're doing it for an Australian market, so then you can pick up a voice of a female or a male for Australia who's got an Australian accent. All right, so that's it. So I'm going to revert back to Elliot. I like that voice. I have no idea where that is gone now. Okay, let me just oh, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to publish this. Just remember to publish everything so that it saves it. All right, so that is the voice section. The next is the transcriber. Okay, this is step 2, right, where when we are speaking to the voice AI, it converts that. It converts that from your voice to text. So in this case, again, you can leave it as default basically, because Vapi in most cases it works. So provider is DeepGram. You can select something else as well. So let's say if you want, there's a lot of let's say you want in Nigeria or you in India where the accent is very thick, you can use some other provider as well. All right, so DeepGram is one which is in English. You can actually say Azure. Azure basically has US, Nigerian, AZ, Philippine. So again, you can actually see which accent works better. All right, for our purpose, I think DeepGram, generally most of the times, I think even if you leave it at the default rating, default values, it generally works fine. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, this is not changed. So that's what a transcriber is, just gonna transcribe everything into text. Okay, now we have tools, and then you have summary, and then you have privacy. Let me just see. This is of course quite a lot of stuff. So we won't be covering everything because this is like Vapi. If you want to go a deep dive, again, if you want a deep dive on Vapi and what exactly these things do, then go back to my channel and let me just show you the video which you can actually see like here. All right, so then you have this, you go to videos, and there is something called Vapi deep dive. This is right here. Okay, so this is a little old, so obviously the UI is very different than what it is right now, but in most of the cases, in this case, if you see this is about 8 months old, yeah, but most of the things are covered, like exactly what summary is and success evaluation is. So yeah, of course the UI is a little different, but then I cover everything in detail, so you'll know exactly what it is. Okay, let me just close this now. All right, so now after this is the tools. Okay, so let's go to tools now. All right, perfect. So as I said in the prompt, we had 5 functions. Okay, check availability, book an appointment, check all appointments, cancel appointment, and reschedule appointments. So these are 5 tools, and the tools business is basically to establish a connection between Vapi and make.com, right, which is our automation platform. All right, so now let's go to make.com, and don't be scared of all these things. I am going to explain each one of them. Okay, but I wanted to show you something so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the database. We use something called a data storage. And the reason I say I want to show you something is because it has those 2 appointments. Okay, it's right here. And I will get to it, how to put this and why to put this and all those things later on. But I just want to show you this. And it has those timings as well. Okay, and at the end, once we actually talk to the assistant, this should be only 1 and this should be reorganized. Okay. So now what it does is that once you come here and you say check availability, okay, so this is the first function. And when you're writing a function, so to write a function, you can just say create tool, custom tool, that's it. Okay, and Vapi has some pre-built functions as well. As you can see, Google Calendar, Sheets. I've tried them, they don't work very well with me. And I did not get a lot of success with them properly, so that is the reason I generally prefer this one with Make. But you can try this out. There's MCP as well, Slack, and so there's a lot of options which you have. You have a query tool as well. But in our case right now, what I'm doing is I'm just using a custom tool. All right, so I use the custom tool. I started off, and then I say check availability. And then of course you need to describe it, what it is. And the reason you describe this is, think of Vapi as basically Vapi is nothing but a big LLM, right? It is like ChatGPT. What it does is it actually takes all this information and then processes it because it is an AI agent. It's an AI agent building platform. So whatever you say out here is very, very crucial, basically, because it helps the AI determine exactly what this tool does. So in this case, flip check availability, what it does is, in the description is saying the tool receives the caller's preferred date and time and then checks Google Calendar and sees if it's a 30-minute session is available or not. So you're literally defining what it's supposed to do. And this is something, this goes to the prompt as well when you're calling this tool. So the prompt also knows, within the prompt, Vapi knows exactly what this tool does, how to use this tool, and so on and so forth, okay? All right. So you define that, you put in the name, you put in the description, make sure to put a good description. Just don't write check availability. It doesn't make any sense. So you need to write a little bit more descriptive so it knows. The more it knows, the better it is for you. Okay. And after that, when it goes down, so you need to specify parameters. Now, what are parameters? Parameters are nothing but what it will be. So when you're checking availability, what does the system need? It needs a user's date and time. What is the requested date and time? So that is how it will know whether it's available or not, right? So that is the reason you say book time, okay? And parameters, you can define everything out here. You can add more properties. Like parameters or properties, the same thing. So you can say basically, if in case, let's say if I want to put a name, I can put in the name, and you'll see it in other functions that have done that. So in this particular one, there is something called booking time. Okay, I want to just send the booking time. All right. So till now everything is done, but how do we connect this to this? And that is done through something called a server URL. Okay, right here. All right. So when you go to this is make.com. When you go here, and you need to put in a webhook. Okay, what is a webhook? A webhook is nothing but a system basically which tells Vapi that, okay, it establishes a connection between Make and Vapi, and when you pass in the values, it comes directly to this place. All right, so that is it. And how do you add it? You can add it right here. You'll click on plus sign and you go to webhooks, and when you click on that, you have something called a custom webhook. Remember to select custom webhook, not a response. A response is only when you want to send something back. You are actually getting something from Vapi to Make, right? So in that case, you'll use a custom webhook and not a mail hook, just a custom webhook. So when you select this, let's see, select this, and when you open it, it'll say that, okay, create this thing, add new. So let me just show this to you. So basically, when you actually click on that and you add it, it will just open this thing, and you can say save. You can name it whatever you want. Okay, I've already done that. And when you save this, it generates a URL. This is a webhook URL. Okay. So if you see the URL, let me just copy this, and I'm going to put it in same thing. Let me just say, where's the notepad gone? Okay. So let me just put it out here, right? So this is the URL. This is the webhook URL, and this is what you'll pick up. Control C, and you put it out there. So if you see, this is exactly the same thing. Okay. So this is the same thing, 7HW. This is very, very important. This needs to be the same. This is how Vapi knows that, okay, when the value is coming in, I need to go to make.com and I will pass this value to this place. Okay. And that is how it will send all the information. So let me just show this to you how it works. I'm just going to push it on the top, and I'm going to run this. Just run it once and let's see how it works. Okay. Let's run it. So now it's running. Yeah. So in make.com, what you can do is this is when you're running continuously. Okay. So this one, when I run it, this is running once, so that I can show you how the values flow. Just to give you a little bit of a background, let me just stop this right now. So when I'm talking on the phone and I say that I want to book an appointment, so when it does a check availability, this is the flow. For check availability, it comes here. This is the router, and it routes the call. So if you see here, this is check availability. Get the available times. This is check availability. So for this particular function, it goes through this flow. Okay. So for book appointment, it comes here. This is book appointment. Okay. So for this book appointment, it comes here. For getting all the appointment names, right? So remember when it said that, okay, you have multiple appointments. So for the multiple appointment, it uses this particular flow. Okay. Check all appointments. It uses this flow. Then after that, once it is done, then this is the cancel flow, this one, and this is the reschedule flow. Okay, that's it. So these are the 5 flows. Okay, and the same webhook. So the same webhook will be used depending on which function is called. Depending on which function is being called, it will actually send those values to the webhook. Okay, so let me show you one. Okay, so I'm running this right now. Let's go to Vapi. Let's go to assistant, and I'm going to say that I want an appointment for let's say 3 p.m. Can you please check if it's available or not? Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's go.
Hello, you've reached FlipBytes. We help businesses streamline operations using voice AI, chatbots, and other powerful AI solutions. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I'd like to book an appointment for 3 p.m. tomorrow. Is it available? Can you check?
Give me a moment. Great news. We have a slot available at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. So you saw this particular flow got executed, right? So if you see that it sent, it actually called this web query, it came here, and then it went actually through this thing. So you can see 111. Basically what this means is that if you see, there's nothing but the values inside. Okay, I'm going to open it and I'm going to show you this one right now. So in check availability, what happens? So we had a booking time, right? So if you remember, if you go back on this session and you go to the tools, within tools we have check availability. So let's go here and we go down and we had just this booking time, correct? So this booking time is what is going to be sent to Vapi because there's a connection. So when I open this and if I say messages, within messages I can say tool and I can say this, I can say tool and ID. So this is the function ID, nothing else. And yeah, now you see, this is the function name, flip check availability, which is exactly the same out here. The names should be exactly the same. So just remember that. Flip check availability, and it is going to send the booking time. All right, so let's go back and see where the booking time is. And you can see the booking time is right here. And it says, okay, 3 o'clock, there's just 1500 hours and 24 hours time clock. 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. on the 3rd. That's what I requested, correct? So this is, it is sending it in. So now when it sends it in, now it goes here and it says that, okay, fine, no, I'm going to go to the Google Calendar. This is the Google Calendar and it says that, okay, input is, this is the time. So the user wants it from 3rd July to 4th July. So it takes 1 day's worth of time and sees that is it available or not available, you know, that booking. So this gives you the busy time, right? So if you go here, you say set free busy information. Okay, so that is what comes in. All right. And so what we do is we actually use this, then we have an iterator. So let me just show you this time. So we asked whether 3 p.m. to this is available or not on July 3rd. So what it's going to do is it's going to pick up from July 3rd to July 4th and see if the times are available or not. Okay, so it says that, okay, within the calendar, within Sandeep, busy. What are busy? We have only 2 busy. What are the two busies? This is 10:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Okay, July 3rd. So it is going to send that out and then it goes to the iterator. Now when it goes to the iterator, what it does is it traverses through those 2 times. Again, those times aren't, by the way, just those times are in UTC. So don't worry about those things, okay? These are not correct times because of the fact that this is internally, Google stores this inside as UTC, as in they are the Greenwich Median Time. Okay, so for us it is +8 for Singapore. So it goes through that, and then this is where I need to convert that. So it goes through the iterator, and where do you get the iterator from? The iterator you can get it from here. Okay, so flow control, you go here and you see iterator, and then you can of course put the iterator here, and you're adding this value directly. So the iterator basically takes an array. Again, if it's getting too complicated, that's it is the array is nothing but a collection. So the reason we have this is because when you're actually sending it to Vapi, what it does is Google Calendar does not have only one busy time, right? It has 2 busy times. So when you're looking at, okay, so I said 3 o'clock, correct? So within 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So it has one of this thing and then one out here. Or maybe it was right actually. Maybe it was not converting into this thing. So one is 4 to 4:30 and the other is from 10 to 10:30. So these are the 2 busy times. So Google Calendar is going to see for 24 hours what are the available appointments, and then it can say that, okay, if this is the reason it does that is so that it knows that if this is busy, let's say if I request for 3 p.m. if this is busy, then at least I can give the free times to the client. So it can say that, okay, the 3 p.m. is busy, but would you like to come at 4 o'clock or 4:30 or 5 o'clock, so on and so forth. So that is the reason we pick up 24-hour time. Okay, within 24-hour times, whatever are busy, it will not say, but whatever is free, it will let you know about that. Okay, so this gives you the time. This is the iterator which traverses through the array. So basically, if there's a collection of, let's say, 10 times, so it will go through all 10 times. Then this is the place where it gets converted. We need to format it. So, we convert in the date format. And then after that, it comes here. It says that, okay, variable current time, is this much variable value, and then variable value for this one. Okay, so it takes the range. We need to do some processing out here. Basically, this is nothing but doing date formatting. Okay, so the reason we need to date format is because we got the free times from Google. Right now, we just have the free times from Google. But what we want is we got the times which are busy from Google, not free times. So we got the busy times, and we have a 24-hour window, right, within 24 hours. So that 24-hour, we have these 2 busy times or 3 busy times. So then the system, and then you need to consider also that what are the timings of the office is open. So all of this variables, the office open, what are the busy times, and all those things, it is put, all of those things, information is put to ChatGPT, okay? And ChatGPT module, then you say that, okay, fine, this is all the information which you have. Can you please calculate and return the free times which is available? And that is the reason it says, okay, this is, consider the time zone, consider the date range, and put all of these things, and then return right here. Sorry. Return these are the available times. So in the result, basically, when you go, this is the available times. So then ChatGPT calculates all these things and returns that back to you. So that is pretty much how it is, okay? So this is the available time. Same thing. And now I'm going to introduce something else to you. Basically, so essentially you write an iterator, and then after iterator, basically you need to convert the date. So that is where you're putting the conversions out here. Then you're putting a ChatGPT module, which does nothing but it takes the time zone, it takes everything, it takes all the busy times which are coming in the calendar, it takes the calendar range, it takes the time zone, it also takes the office available, what time the office is open, and then it generates, based on that, it generates a result saying that, okay, for 30-minute slots, these are the times which are available, and then it sends it back. Now, this is, as I said, like this is the webhook, custom webhook, the starting one, okay? But when you're sending it back, it is a webhook URL, sorry, a webhook response. This one right here. You'll use this one, okay? So when you click on this, actually no point clicking on this because it's going to ask. So basically when I open this thing, it says status 200, and then there is a format. You need to use only this format. Okay, so let me just show you where this format is coming from. So you'll say server response format Vapi. Okay, so server messages. And then when you go to server messages, click on server response format. That's it. And there you go. So if you can see, this is the one, right? So let me just copy this, and I'm going to again put it in the notepad. Where's the notepad going? Okay, it's right here. So let's go back to Make. And I'm going to open this, and I'm going to open this as well. So you can see this, all right? See this? This is the result. It is supposed to be like this. And the tool call ID. So you need to replace the X and the Y. So now, what is the X and where do you get the X from? So X is nothing but the tool call ID. So every tool, so this tool has an ID, okay? Every tool has an ID. And this ID is available to you through the webhook, okay? So when you click on this, like for example, when I click on this, I can go down and I can see where's the tool call ID. So I'm going to open this, and then I'm going to open tool call, and then this is the ID. You see this ID? You pick up this ID and you put it out here. Like just put it like this. There you go, like this, and just drop it, okay? And that's it. After that, the result is coming from ChatGPT. So you'll go to ChatGPT, you pick up the result, and you drop it here, okay? Instead of X, you'll drop it here. That's it. And then you have result, okay? That's it. All right, so now what happens is that once the Vapi says, when you're talking about check availability, it goes and confirms once, then goes back and responds that, hey, it is available or not available. And then you say that, okay, can you check the next one? And then again it goes and executes the same thing, okay? And then when it says that it's okay, I have that, now it is going to say that, all right, this date is available, do you want to book it? And you say, yes, I want to book it. After that, next function is called, which is the book appointment. Now let's go back to book appointment. Okay, so out here. So now this is the next function. If you saw the prompt, this is what we're calling flip book appointment, right? So the tool books an appointment for the client for a given date and time in the Google Calendar, right? So that's it. And in this case, so what do you need for book appointment? You need the date and time, you need the name and email and phone numbers, right? So booking date and time, when does you want the client, which date and time did the client prefer? So when the client said, okay, fine, when I said that, okay, book it for 12 p.m. or something, whatever is available. So I'm going to send the 12 p.m. out here. And then I'm going to send the client name, which is my name, email, and phone number, all of those 4 things to the book appointment. Okay, and that is how it books the appointment. So when it comes here, and then now when you open this, at this point of time, when this executes, at that point of time, you'll have all of those 4 things. So let me show this to you as well. Okay, so I'm going to start this. Okay, and there's one more thing which I want to talk about. Actually, I will talk about that beforehand. Okay, so this is where so now what is going to happen is that when you're trying to reschedule or when you're trying to cancel an appointment, just think about that. Okay, the system needs to know that you have an appointment, so you need to store it somewhere. How are you going to store it? Either you can directly pull from the calendar, which is a little difficult basically, because then you need to tell the ID or something else, because Google Calendar doesn't know that, right? So then we need to get that calendar information. So how are you going to get that? So in our case, what I did is that we have something called data structure within within Make. Okay, and to use this data structure is very, very easy. So you just go to place and just say data structure. So you just say data and this comes up. Okay, this is data store, which is a built-in thing. It is not something outside, it is built in within Make itself. And what you'll do is you'll go here, let's open this in more, and then you go to data store and data structure. So what is a data store? Essentially, it's nothing but a table. It's a table basically, and then you define that. So when I say browse, it should have that value, right? So it has calendar event ID, first name, last name. So whatever you define, it comes out here. Now, how do you define that? For that, you go to more data structure, okay? And then you can say that, okay, out here, you can say, I want to create a new one. In my case, I have already FlipByte, so I'm going to show you exactly how it is. When I edit this, I can change that. So the first thing I can do is I can say, okay, it's a calendar event ID, all right? So it's of type text. First name is of type, again, text. Then you have phone number of type text or numeric if you want to put it, depends on whatever you want, okay? So appointment name, appointment start date, all of those things. So you can fully define everything out here, that what exactly is the appointment start date, the end date, whatever you want to store, you can define that structure. Basically what it does is that it creates that table once you do the structure, and that is how it comes here. So once you define it out here, then you can use it. Okay, so then it comes like FlipByte appointment, and then when you browse it, it basically is like this. This is the thing, right? So calendar event ID is like a text because it's alphanumeric and numeric. So then you have first name, last name, so it has all of those things. Now, what you can do is within your Make automation, within your scenario. All right, let me just go back. Where was that? Right here. Okay, so within your Make scenario, what you can do is, come on. Okay. So when you're booking a calendar, right? So when you're booking an appointment, you just need to open this and then map the columns. So mapping basically means that in the calendar event ID, I'm going to put in that when Google creates an event, it generates an event ID. Okay. So if you click on this, you'll see that these are all the fields of Google Calendar. So Google Calendar has kind of flag, event ID, status. So what I did is I picked up the event ID and I put it out here. All right. And then the rest of the fields, I got it directly from the webhook, like the first name, because the webhook is getting the first name, it is getting the last, the first name, the email, the phone number, and the booking time. So all of those things are available from there. Okay. The appointment start and end date, again, I got it from Google Calendar only right here, because we have already formatted it. So it has all of those things. So it has start date and end date right here. There you go, start and end date. Okay. So I put it out here basically. So it basically means that, okay, go and fetch me all the busy times within this date range, appointment start date and appointment day. Okay. And now it has the first name, it has all of those things to book an appointment, right? So when you're creating, so again, when you look at Google Calendar, this is to get free busy information. This is to create an event. So there are different node types in Google Calendar. So again, when you go here and you say Google Calendar, you have all of these events. So you can search events, you can get an event, you can create an event. So what we have done is we have actually gone down. We have said that, okay, get free busy information. This is one way. And then we also did that, okay, create a calendar. Okay. So I can also do update a calendar. So this is a node which I'll be using right here, right? So if you see out here, this is delete an event. There's another one, update an event. There's another one. So we are using all of those. All right. So now basically what it does is that when a person calls in, it says that, okay, so it says basically that, okay, yeah. So it says that book the calendar, and then it actually, and tell the user that the calendar has been booked, all right, for that particular date and time. Now, when it says that, at that point of time, it is making an entry into the Google, into the data store. So we already have the information available to us. All right, and that is the reason the next time when it comes and says, the user says that, hey, I'd like to cancel or like to schedule an appointment. So what the system does is then it starts off and it comes here. It goes to the data store and it sees that, okay, what is available to me. Okay, so it says that, okay, fine, data store, this particular record is available, or there are 2 appointments for this number. So if you go here and let me just open the data store one more time. Actually, I should have opened it in a different, okay. So anyways, browse this. Okay, so let's say there are multiple appointments. So it'll see the phone number, and that is how it is getting it. So it'll see the phone number, it'll ask the user for the phone number. When he says, okay, give me the phone number, that is the time it will fetch all of these records. So it'll get that and it'll go back to this thing. I'm sorry, this is, yeah, I think, you know what, I'm just going to open a new tab just so that it's easier. One second. I'm just gonna have some water as well. Okay, so browse. All right, great. So yeah, so basically what it is doing is that when you come here, it says that, okay, this is the phone number, okay, and I'm going to look at this number. So it says that there are 2 of them, then goes and formats this. So you can, this is the format, date and time. And then it goes here, it says, okay, structured data. Now there are 2 things, this thing, transform text into structured data. Now what this is doing is, it is converting those, you know, so I'm writing it down to text to parse, and then it is converting this is to extract those things and put it into a structured data format. So 1 or more records. So let's say, for example, you are a helpful assistant. I give you a single text input that contains 1 or more records, each formatted as this. So I have the date and time, and I have the record key. So I need the record key as well. The reason I need the record key is that this particular database, okay, everything this stores as a record key. This is the key in order for you to know. So when you want to cancel an appointment or you want to actually update appointment, you need to give a Google Calendar key, and you want to have a key for the data as well, okay? And that is where this function comes in, all right? So what I am doing is, once it stores into the database, I have the key. So when the person says that, hey, I want to reschedule an event, so what I'll do is I'll open the key, in this case, sorry, not right here. Okay, I'll get the key, I'll search it right here, look at the search record. Okay, so I'm doing a search record, so let me open this and say, phone number is this, and based on the phone number, so this is the phone number. So I'm telling the system that, okay, this is the phone number. So based on this particular phone number, compare it with the phone number which is coming from the webhook, or basically from the client. If there's a match to this thing, then extract the full record of that thing within the data store. So if there's a match of this phone number, get this whole thing out. So it'll extract everything, right? So that is what I'm telling it. Now, after that, we format that, we go into structured data, and I'm saying, if you can see, I'm saying that, okay, I will give you a single text input, which is that it comes as a record. So after that, I'm getting a record and a record key and a date time. Because what we need to know is, let's say, for example, the person says that I want to cancel an appointment, okay? And there are multiple appointments. So as you saw that the system said that there are 2 or 3 appointments, one at 9:30, one at 4:30, one at 12:30. Which one do you want to cancel? So if you say I want to cancel at 12:30, okay, but it does not have a record ID. Record ID basically means that in order for me to cancel, I need to get the Google key. But where do I get the key from? So that key is coming from here, okay? So when I say 12:30, so I am passing this as well as the time. So the 4 p.m. and this thing to get this particular part. It's a little confusing, but it's basically extracting record from the database, right? So, and then you need a key for doing that. So once I do that, I go here in the ChatGPT. If you see, I am telling it that, hey, you're a helpful assistant. Once you're when you're passing, so let me just actually take this one right here. So if you see, in this case, I'm saying format the date, and in the end, I am also passing the record key. You see the key right here. Okay, this is the format. Pass in the appointment, record start, end, and record key as well. So it is giving everything. It is giving the date, time, and key to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT's format is basically that, okay, I'm getting the start date, the end date, and the record key. So that is the key which is associated with the start time, right, of the appointment. And that is what I'm giving out here in the structured data. Okay. So at the end of the day, basically it makes that this thing that, all right, for this particular time, this is the key. For this particular time, this is the key. And then I'm passing it back. So now what happens is that the next time, okay, next time when you actually, so let me just show this to you real quick. Now let's go back, and this is check all appointments. And in this case also, I'm just saying client phone. So this is check all appointments. The functions ask the customer for a phone number and then checks how many active appointments he has which are linked to that phone number. Okay. And then it says client phone. Now, and then again the same web URL, same one. So the client phone is nothing but the phone number which the client has, right? So when it goes here, at this point of time, it uses the client phone number to get the record and the appointment date times. So let's say there are 3 appointment date times. It'll get 3 different record IDs as well as 3 different times, right? And then it formats it. It gives it to the ChatGPT completion. What this completion does is, sorry, not completion, the structured data. The structured data, what it does is, it is coming as a string. So string basically means, like, if you see this, it is coming as start time is this, end time is this, and then record key is this. So it is one string, okay? So what this particular structured data, what it does is, it says that you will get a string, please break it down into extract the start time and end time, and extract the start time and record time. And that's it in this format, okay? And that's it. So once you do that, it is going to break it down into 2 portions. And then if you see this, so this is the completion. Now you're giving it start time and end time as well. So it knows. So when you click here, if you see the previous one, it has start and end time, and it has record key. So it has both those informations, right? This is the structured data, okay? So this is basically taking a string and it's breaking it down to 2 of these things. So now once you pass it back, you'll pass in the result as well as the record key. And the record key is super important because that is how it knows that for 4 o'clock, this key is ABCD, and for 8 o'clock, the key is 1, 2, 3, 4. So then that is how it makes that connection. All right. Now, after this, when you say that, when you come here and says, okay, I want to cancel an appointment, right? So when you called up, it says you want to cancel an appointment. What is the phone number? And then you say a phone number is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I've been speaking for a long time. Okay. So when you say that the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, what happens in that case? So at that point of time, it will call this particular function. So if you want to cancel appointment, it says, okay, I'm going to cancel the appointment, but what it needs a record key. Now you see that record key, this is very important because otherwise, if you just pass the timing back to the client that, okay, you have an appointment at 4 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, which one do you want to cancel? So if the person says 4 o'clock, the system does not know how to cancel that particular, which records are related in the database, right? In this particular, if I say 4 o'clock without the record key, a 4 o'clock can be anything. I don't know what is the record key, and then what is the calendar event ID. In order for us to get this, we need to have the record key. This is the record key, which is attached to this 4 o'clock appointment. So when you say cancel 4 o'clock appointment, the system will get the record key, it will get the 4 o'clock, and then it knows the calendar event ID. Okay. So now what it does is when you say, all right, I am going to, let me just put it out here. Let's go here, cancel ID, right? So when it goes here and says that, okay, record key, phone ID, and appointment start date. Okay. So when it says the record key and the client phone number and the start date, start and time date, these 2 things, this is more than enough for the system to know that, okay, fine, this is the time start and this is the record key. Let me extract the event ID. So it goes here. When you say cancel, it goes here. It searches this thing. So look at this, get a record. So get a record. How does it get a record? By this argument. Okay. So this is the key. This is the record key. So based on the record key, it will get the full record, and then out here you have a full record, and then you already have a event ID, right? So this is the calendar event ID, which is coming from the data store. This is the calendar event ID, right? So this is it. So now when the Google has the calendar event ID, the Google Calendar knows exactly every event ID, every booking which it does, it has an ID. So once you give it the calendar ID, this one, okay, it knows which which event to cancel. So you'll just go ahead and cancel it. And once it cancels it, then what you need to do is you need to delete that particular record. So that is the reason I'm deleting it out here. So you need to delete that particular record from the data store. That's it. So that appointment is gone. Okay, and that's it. And then you send the response back again the same way. The response back to saying that your booking was successfully cancelled. That's it. Okay. And lastly, you have again something called reschedule appointment. So again, what it does is just reschedules it. So now in reschedules, again, you'll pass in the record key, the same 2-3 things basically. Okay. So essentially what in the reschedule, what is happening is exactly the same thing which is happening in cancel. So the system knows that when you're telling them that, okay, fine, you know what? The only difference is the check availability happens before that. So if you see the record prompt, okay, in the prompt, because you're switching it, right? So it needs to know that, okay, the appointment, with the new appointment which you're asking for is available or not. So what it does is, if you go down in the prompt, step C is time available, D, and when it reschedules, in reschedule, it needs to call. So I want to reschedule appointment. So then it says that check all appointments. For the phone number, this is it. Then it comes here. If no appointment is found, based on the response, if no appointment is found, looks like there's nothing. But if there is found, check cancel appointment. 1 second. Step E is if you choose to reschedule. Okay, so this is the one. Yeah. So if person wants to reschedule or cancel, okay, so when it gets all those things and all the dates and times, if you say I want to cancel or reschedule, if you say I want to reschedule, what it does is it goes to tool and says check availability first. Once it says that, okay, if the availability is there, then only it calls the tool reschedule appointment. Okay, so that is the thing. So if you go back to the tool out here, same thing out here. So first it will go and check the availability that you okay, so there are 4 o'clock appointment, you want to move it to 5 o'clock, but 5 o'clock needs to be available. So it's going to check availability. It is going to do that, and it says that yes, it is available. Then it says okay, fine. Then it goes here, it adds to the row, get a record, it gets the record, puts it out here, changes, updates the event, and then updates the record as well. Okay, so this particular record gets updated to basically this is the new time. So everything it updates within the database. Okay, and then returns it saying that this has been updated, and that is how you get all of those things. So essentially that is the whole flow. Okay, so it's pretty. And the reason it's easy is basically because, see, I've seen a lot of videos which were you're doing cal.com or calendly.com using something else, but you don't need to do that. It's a very simple and straightforward process basically when you just use calendar and ChatGPT. That's all we're using, and everything else is internal to make.com. Okay, and the best thing is the data storage. It is amazing because you can actually store information, you can retrieve, you can update, you can do all of those things, and it is phenomenal. So it works very easily. Okay, so hopefully you like that. So I mean, again, if you want to see this, I can. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward out here as well. A calendar event ID, and if you see out here as well, it is calendar event ID when you're doing the update as well. Okay, yeah, an update, you need to get the start time and the end time. That's it. Okay, and yeah, if you want to send reminders, so this is a full-fledged calendar. So when you create an event as well, you can mention that you want in the start time, end time, you have also you can actually add reminders. So if you want that, like in real Google Calendar, what you do is you can say that, okay, I want to be reminded every like 1 day before or 1 hour before and all those things. So you can actually do it out here. You can put a method out here and you can put in the minutes when you want it reminded, and it will remind you. Okay, and it reoccurrence and all those things. So you can actually put all of these things and you can program all of these things within the system. So essentially this is the appointment booking system. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, check availability, book appointment, check all appointments, and then you have cancel appointment, and then you have reschedule appointment. Okay.
All right, that wraps up this video. Now you know exactly how to build a complete appointment setter solution from scratch, which you can easily sell for
to businesses, for $3,000 plus. If you like help setting up your own AI automation or need support with a custom AI project, feel free to reach out to our agency flipbytes.com. Our agency specializes in making this stuff simple and powerful. All the links are down below in the description. Also, if you are curious about learning more about AI automation and voice AI, check out the videos popping on the screen. I'm sure you'll find something very useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.